Hi, you're welcome to Success Tips. In this video today, we will be discussing on how to manage personal finance. It have always been true that those who made their way to wealth have always been excellent at managing personal finance. Your income, no matter how little it may be, has the potential of being regenerated. The regeneration of finance is strictly a proportional depiction of who manages it. If you want to grow your personal finance, then you need to pay so much attention to this video because I will be explaining on how to manage your personal finance in order to build wealth. Before we go down to the subject of how to manage personal finance, we need to first of all understand what we mean by personal finance in this context. Personal finance is simply any money that comes to you without any attached expenditure or plan to it. If they pay you your salary, that becomes your personal finance. If someone dash you money, that becomes your personal finance. If you get a financial reward, that becomes a personal finance. Having said that, there are three major steps that you need to take in order to effectively manage such personal finance. The first step is to take a good record of all the money that comes to you. If 10,000 comes to you, take record of that. If 20,000 comes to you, take record of that. If 1,000 comes to you, take record of that. Any little amount that comes to you, you need to take record of it. It is very easy for you to waste away anything that you don't keep record of. If you want to understand the point I'm trying to make here, I want you to print your bank account statement for the past 1 year. And I tell you, you'll be shocked at how much money went through that account for that period of time. Taking record of any little amount that comes to you is one important step that you need to take when it comes to managing personal finance, because that will keep your brain alert and accountable for it. The second step you need to take to effectively manage personal finance is to make a strategic allocation for any money that comes to you before it leaves your own hands. You can draft it out in form of percentages or maybe proportions. It can be something like, any money that comes to me, 30% is my general upkeep, 20% is for any miscellaneous, and then 50% is for my savings. Someone may be tempted to say, but my monthly income is just 2,000. So the 50% of that 2,000 is just 1,000. So how can that be enough as a saving? If you have that running through your mind, then I tell you, you don't need to start your savings with big amounts. Have you considered, saving 50% of your monthly income for the period of 3 years? I'm sure you now do. This step is one of the important steps when it comes to managing your personal finance. It's very important for you to draft out a distribution plan before you begin spending any money that comes to your own hands. If you practice that alone, then you are going to realize the power that lies in this second strategy. Lastly, the third thing you need to do to effectively manage personal finance is to invest it. No matter how little your income is, it is very important for you to allocate a portion of it in order to generate more money or more income. Most of the times I see people say things like, oh, I wish I had such amount of money so I can be able to invest. Oh, I wish someone can borrow me money so I can start, my business. Oh, I wish the banks, can be able to consider me for a loan so I can start, my business. But they ignore that little amount of money that comes to them as their own personal income. Let me give you this eye opener, okay? No matter how little your income is, if you have the mindset of the rich, then you can be able to pave your way to riches. Surprisingly, there is only one thing that differentiates the rich from the poor, and that is investments. You can have two different individuals that earn 1,000 each a month, and let's say one of them is having the rich mentality and the other one has the poor mentality. The one with the rich mentality will always be thinking of what he or she can do with a portion of that 1,000 in order to multiply his own money or in order to earn an extra income in addition to that regular 1,000. The one with the poor mentality, on the other hand, may now be thinking of how to acquire a piece of land which he or she can use to build his own residential home, and then maybe later on he or she will be thinking of how to acquire a car or maybe a motorcycle or maybe any of the vehicles, and then that will be the major thing that will be running through his or her own mind. After 35 years of service, the one with the poor mentality will have had a maximum of 420,000 as the total income that came through him, all of which must have been spent on basic needs and then acquiring a residential home and then maybe a car or maybe a motorcycle. While the one with the rich mentality, on the other hand, might even be having in multiples of that 420,000 as his current income from his investments. We will talk more on investments in the future, but for now you only need to know the three things you need to do in order to manage your personal finance. Have a complete record of all the money that comes to you, draft a strategic allocation for your finance before it leaves your hands, and lastly, invest a portion of all your income. With that, you will make your way to financial abundance. abundance. I hope you have learned a lot on this video. If this was your first time on this YouTube channel, I would want you to click on the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell. And if you are a returning viewer, I would love to say thank you. I will need just one favor from you. Please share this video with just one person. Thank you, and see you guys in another video. Bye.